Hello, good morning and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxtrot, on this pre-match show. Away to Rangers, away to Motherwell. It's the one and only Bridge. How are we doing, Bridge?
Oh, good morning to you, Oxter. Can I say a huge good morning to you and all the guys that were in the technical side, to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Morning. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
I believe you've got the team. I believe you've got the team
here. Yes, I do. Got the team here. And the team is McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun and Bassey, Davis, Kamara and Arfield, Aribo, Fashion and Morelos. Substitutes: McLaughlin, Simpson, Patterson, Lundstrom, Hadji, Wright and Roof.
All right. I think Big Southside got his first time ever got it right.
I don't know. Did he say McGregor? I'm really sure if he said McGregor back in.
Yeah, he had McGregor back in, right? He did.
Well, well done, Southside then. Well done.
Mm-hmm. First time ever. So I signed bought a baby sham for the Bridgeman's on its way to Southside. We've got a crate to give away.
Just love it.
Give us your thoughts, Bridgeman.
Well, today is going to be just massive. I don't know how good the Motherwell pitch is. I hope it stands up to whatever weather, because certainly when I was out this morning going for the injections, it was pounding in playing places and huge big puddles of water, lakes of water on the streets, you know. Having to drive in the middle of the road to get away from the gigantic puddles. But for the team, I think the team's very sensible. I actually agreed with Southside. So this is one I think I can't remember him saying McGregor, but anyway, never mind. I did agree with him, with the exception of the forward line. I would have kept Roof in along with Morelos. That's what I would have done. But other than that, I'm very happy, and they look as if they could do the business. And Lundstrom's obviously been rested, shall we say? So he's ready. He can come back in and do it. So we're back to the midfield that we've had before. We've had that before, and they've been successful for us. So let's see if we can make it happen again. Mm-hmm. I'm really up for it.
I am. Just when a lot of people thought that Scotty Arfield had maybe going to disappear out the picture, here he comes again.
I think he played well against Aberdeen. And
really?
As soon as he came on, he went into battle against...
Really?
I thought he played quite well against Scott Brown, because he went sort of 1-on-1 in him, and they held his own, as far as I was concerned. Later on in the game when he came on,
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy enough with that. Could see him get a couple of elbows in against Brown, because Brown knows all the tricks and the barging.
Enough about him. It's a pre-match show. Motherwell, move on. Yeah,
it's just a preamble to the show, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll be talking about him on a Sunday. So, Fashion Sakala, pace. I think we've lacked pace up front. Thoughts?
Yeah, we have indeed. And Sakala, each time he's been on, he's showed he's got pace. I think there's other parts of his game the pace doesn't match up to form-wise. No, there's nothing wrong with the guy. And he scored some goals for us, for sure. Got himself into position, and sometimes made the chance himself, you know, getting the ball and pushing it past the guy. So can play, can beat a player, and can shoot at goals. You know, all you need to do is give him the ball. Just make sure he gets the ball, a bit of service. And Morelos is much the same. We know how good he can be. Just need to give him the ball in the right place.
Forwards are ultimately, obviously, the performance helps, but they're judged in goals, Bridge.
Yes, and that's part and parcel of their life, isn't it? They've got to be able to either score or be involved in a number of goals per season. And if they're not, then people will ask the question, what have you done? Why are you there? Blah, 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 you know. Seriously, but I think Morelos has been he's a great player for us. And I think Fashion Sakala will be a great player for us as well. He's obviously both of them. Morelos needs to up it on the striking side of things. Some of the chances he's missed are quite glaring, you know. And we need him to get his head back on and get it sorted.
The last few games, Bridge, he scored against Aberdeen, scored against Hibs.
Yeah.
Who scored last week? What was it? Was it Morelos? I think he scored 3 of the last 4 games, mate.
Yeah, I've no difficulty with the goals he scored. I don't have a problem with it. It's the chances when he tries to take the chances. Sometimes they wildly past the post, for instance, and not just past the post, but a good bit away and one-on-one with the keepers. That's always difficult. It's a 50-50, but it used to be really good one-on-one.
Against Hearts, he had chances, but since then, I think he's done okay. He started scoring goals. No, 3 out of 4 is no bad if he can keep it going, yeah?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm not saying that he can't score goals. I'm saying some of the chances that we've had, that he's had, and he's glaring misses sometimes, for us, for the fans, glaring miss. But yeah, his record's good at the moment, very good at the moment.
Right, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Give us a call, give your views on how the match is going to go, give your views on the team that's been selected, Bridge, yeah?
Yes, indeed. Let's go and talk about Rangers. Come on in and join us.
Yep. Lundstrom on the bench. I think he's played about 6 games in the trot, so I understand the logic behind it, if that makes any sense. You have to always look at the bigger picture as a manager. Hopefully that he'll get a bit of game time today when we're 2-0, 3-0 up. That's what I hope for, Bridge. But
yes, of course.
That does it.
Well, I thought, to be honest, I couldn't quite grasp why he was taken off against Aberdeen. I know he did struggle a wee bit in places, and
it was too deep, wasn't he?
Saying that, he did struggle, and I think he was just doing what the big Golson was telling him: come back, and he kept coming back, and it just ruined his game. That's what I feel. I've been wrong before, of course, and I think he should stay in the midfield. He should become the holding midfield that's going to go forward, not backwards. Go up there.
It was like 3 centre-halves against one player.
That's correct, and it was ridiculous. But as soon as he went back there and the ball went back to them, then Aberdeen's pressed up, so he ended up with 3 players pressing on their 4, which is difficult, We can mash it up any way you wish. He didn't have a great game.
No, but it was 30 yards. It was 30 yards too deep. Most of the game.
I have no arguments about it at all. None. The crowd were shouting to him, "Get out, get up there, you go and get the ball. We'll get the ball to you. Get up there out of the way." He was coming back. I still believe that Golson was shouting him to come back because I think Golson and Balogun to a certain extent weren't keen on passing the ball wherever they wanted to pass it because there was too many red jerseys up there. The ball would just come back to them, and that's what happened there most of the time. Anyway.
Right, turn your phone off before we go any further.
Whoops.
But I will see where it goes. I mean, obviously, I hope Davis can play that few yards further forward and give that man in midfield because that's where sometimes we're low performing. We'll be joined by Carl. Morning, Carl.
Good morning. Seen the team.
Yep.
Well, I'm all right. How are you?
Good, mate. Good.
You've not got all the worries at your system that you had during the week. I thought I was listening to a Celtic channel, man, with the meltdown going on.
Well, we only tell the truth, mate. Yeah.
I know. That's how I didn't want to. I just hope a wee bit tactics changed today, Mm-hmm. Like a goalkeeper that can take by kicks.
Well, this modern trend, mate, a passionate.
I know it's a modern trend, but it must be a modern trend to open your eyes where the opposition players are, as well.
I thought that was the reason they wore different colour of jerseys for you, so you could see.
So did I. But, well, I mean, I don't know, blue-tinted glasses have they got? I don't know, I thought it was disgusting on Thursday. That's why I didn't want to win, but that's enough of that rubbish. I think playing Sakala, it's worth the risk as long as you can take him off, You know what I mean? If he's no doing it, we've got Roof to shove on. Because I don't know, the guy's not had a chance. And maybe with Golson getting long punts up the park, no passes. Let's face it. There's no a 70-yard pass living. The guy's got to be able to run onto it, and that's the trouble with our team. We're always having to face backwards to get a ball with the midfield that goes across and across and across and across, and then a 6-yard soft pass. That's my opinion. We need people to run onto boys, and we haven't got the pace. I'll freely admit that. We have not got it.
You also need the people to pass the boys.
I know. That's another trouble. But it's hard to pass all the time when you're looking backwards. You can't swivel your head. We couldn't even pass it out our own penalty box. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I don't like playing for the back sometimes. We think you're inviting the team on all the time.
Understand.
You know what I mean? We had 6 players running that penalty area, and we'd 5 Aberdeen players there. It should be easy enough to play around them. But you're taking a goalkeeper that can kick a ball, is meant to be good with his feet, to put a centre half in to take a by kick. I don't understand. Your goalkeeper can do that if he's good with his feet. That's my opinion, Ox, you know what I mean? But other things, I was glad to see her Andy Bob on again, you know.
Cal, let's talk about the day's game, yeah?
The day's game, well, I think we have to start well, put it that way, Ox, you know, we really do. And
I don't really care about the start, mate, as long as we win the game, if that makes any sense.
I know, but we can't let them get a foothold, you know what I mean? We can't begin them. And we've got to get Tavernier and Bassey moving, because that seems to be lacking. I don't know what's... Well, the other teams actually play their tactics, you know, they watch the game and all, how we do it. As you keep saying, Michael Beale should call you. No, I fancy maybe Sakala can get as a goal today and kickstart his thing. Maybe he's not much minutes, let's face it, has he?
I've not seen much, and we don't...
And I'm glad to see Arfield back for giving us a bit of dig, even though I don't agree that he was good on Thursday, because he got himself booked in the 15 minutes he was on for a stupid foul.
No, I don't think any of them were good in the second half.
No, I don't. Good. That's actually high for the marks I put with them on. But on to the day's game yet again. I didn't know the Motherwell team, but it's going to be the same, and it's just going to be... We have to be able to pass through them, or grab a hold of yourself and drag yourselves into the box to get another dubious penalty, you know. So the people get something to write about it. Right, I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. Got to give you a bonnet or so, he'd Bridge, wouldn't he? He answers his own questions.
You got to laugh, haven't you? You got to laugh, yeah.
He asks a question and answers it himself. On a one breath. Oh, you've got to love Cal. Dear. Bridgeman, people just join us. He's the team.
And the team is McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun and Bassey, Davis, Kamara, Arfield, Aribo, Fashion and Morelos. Substitutes: McLaughlin, Simpson, Patterson, Lundstrom, Hadji, Wright and Roof.
Hadji, right. Somebody's got something beaten. I don't know if it's you or the technical boys, Bridge. Something's beaten.
I'm trying to switch something up. I can't.
Well, just turn it off. We'll need to drop you. Yeah, we'll be joined by Andy. Morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Bridge. Good morning, Ox. A few changes, right enough. I just hope that they take something off of yesterday. The fact that they dropped a couple of points and gives us a chance to get back. They've got to come out with the right intensity, though, right enough, haven't they? And impose the will on the game. And if we can do that, again, I keep saying the same thing, don't you? But that's what we're looking for, aren't we? Surely, they've got kind of a lifeline flowing there again after being down after what happened there through the week. We could go off at the end of the week here, be back to our 4 points and on to the next. So that's what I'm looking for.
I understand what you're saying. I think that's the supporters. We can look at that, but that shouldn't influence the way we play. Or anything that happens elsewhere shouldn't affect how we play. We should play our game and win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that, but the problem is it is affecting them because they're not playing, are they? That's the problem. It doesn't matter what we say; it's what they're doing, and will we get up for it? It's obviously going to be a very heavy pitch, I would imagine, from what they're saying up here. Can we get in? Can we oppose? Do they want to? Have they got the art to? That's the questions we're asking. It's only them players that cross that white line today that's going to prove that.
11-1 Motherwell, 17-4 the draw, 2-7 Rangers. 2-7.
I never bothered this morning.
You've just got to be. And by the way, this team will fight. That Motherwell team will fight all the way. Mm-hmm. You're going to see some strange fouls today that we don't get. By the way, can you tell us, does anyone know the referee yet? No.
The guy in the black. Right, Andy, how do you see it going?
I think if we come out on the right foot, I think we'll be okay. If we start off bad, I would worry. On current form, I don't want us beginning the first goal away here, because then you gain yourself too much to do, and it also gives them something to cling to. So I'd like to see Rangers get the first goal here. If we get that, and then we get, I like the changes. To be honest, we had gone another further. I had Patterson in for Tavernier, but he stuck with him right enough. I can see that with the assist and the penalty, so I could see that was going to happen anyway. But yeah, we'll go with that. Probably get your first proper look at Sash in there, this guy that's got the pace. So can him and Morales play together now? That's a good one that I'm looking for today. See whether that happens. But yeah, I think if we score the first goal, I feel more confident, if you get what I mean.
I don't care who scores the first goal, mate, as long as we get the winning goal.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's not a case of that, is it? Let's be honest. If we can see the first goal, the way we're playing and the way we panic a bit, we can put ourselves in trouble. Get the first goal, it gives you that bit of hump to go and try and get the second, if you get what I mean. But I get what you're saying. If as long as we're winning the 3 points at the end of it, yeah, I get that. But
also, we ain't scoring enough goals, Andy.
No. I mean, what, 2 at most? Sometimes, though, when we go there, I know we get a hard game off of them, but if you look back, sometimes if we're on it there, we do tend to give them a big whacking at times, don't we? So, never know. You never know. We might just come out there and just say, right, this is the day now. We keep saying it every week. We're all saying the same thing, let's be honest, but come on, mate. I'm up for it. I'm not that I'm not always up for it, but come on, it's time to get there. They're going to drop points on them all the time. So are we, but that just shows you where you would have thought that they would have gone on and cemented that top spot there, and they didn't have the boys to do it. So, come on, Rangers, now let's show them why we're the champions and let's impose ourselves on this league.
100%.
You've just got to go and win the game, and it's a tight park. It's the weather's not great. It's all about 3 points a day for me, Bridge.
Yeah, look, the last number of games we've said a similar thing. We need the 3 points, and we desperately do. And today, no excuse. There will be no excuses, not from me anyway. I don't care what players we put out. We're Glasgow Rangers, and we should be able to handle any team in this league. We should be able to handle them. Now, sometimes it's not going to work, just as Andy said. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you get a draw. But the vast majority of our games, we shouldn't be bothered about what the other team does. We should be worried about ourselves. And if we don't play our own game and get the chances, then there's something wrong. Chances go in.
I'm just worried about this modern trend, Bridge. I'm worried about this modern trend where somebody flicks you and you fall over and you dive and you cheat and you get a penalty kick. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Pam. Somebody flicks you. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
All right, well, you don't comment, but I don't know where you've been. You must have been in Mars.
No, I've seen a scene. It looked like he got slapped in the back of the head. I saw it in the news, but I never saw the game or anything like that. So
where's all the people who were out about Sakala's penalty? Not a word said there.
Not a word, Pam.
Yeah, well, I actually seen it. There's a cracking video out there where the sniper takes a pot shot and then it flings onto him where he falls over. Jesus Christ almighty. That's what you're falling over for today. Odds his face. Aye. If that's what you're falling over for these days, jeez, my old man would be turning, man. What the hell's going on here? But that's a modern day footballer, isn't it? I mean, he shouldn't have lifted his hand. I will say that, because that. And again, with the referee's rules and all that, then you're always likely to get a penalty.
If I'm refereeing that decision, you could send the Livingston player, but the first foul's committed against the Livingston player.
That's right, it was.
Retaliation. So how's that a penalty kick?
Yeah, you're right. The first infringement, yeah.
Yeah, if you
the first infringement.
If you accept it, lifting your hands is a red card. It's 2 red cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But the first infringement shouldn't have led to the penalty, because it was committed by one of them.
All right, we've got the manager, so let's hear from our gaffer, Stevie G.
Stephen, a very wet day here in Lanarkshire. What sort of test do you expect today?
Well, look, we're looking forward to a good game and a tough test. That's what it's about when you come away in the SPL. So it's going to be a good challenge, but a challenge we're looking forward to. We're coming here for the 3 points, and we need the performance to go and make us, do that.
A couple of changes today, including Scott Arfield. You spoke about him in your press conference Friday. What do you want to see from him today?
Yeah, look, 4 changes. Put some experience into the team. I think when you come away to these places and you're going to need to compete and fight, you need certain characters, certain leaders in your team. So McGregor and Davis will come back in. After the news of Walter, I didn't feel like they were in the right place, just by the reaction when I told them the news. But they'll come back in today. They seem in a better place. Scott Arfield will give us a bit of steel, a bit of grit in there, which is what we're going to need. He can also play, he can arrive in the box. So we're going to need to score goals. And I've changed one in the front line in Sakala. Looking for him to run in behind, stretch the game, be a constant menace, be lively, be exciting. And I thought that was a little bit lacking at times against Aberdeen, so that's the reason behind the 4 changes. So we've picked a team with experience, with quality, and one that's more than good enough to get the results if we perform.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
He doesn't make excuses, Andy. He just wants to get on with it.
No, you got to applaud him for that. Being honest, says we need the experience. Felt like Davis and McGregor weren't in the right frame of mind. Funny enough, Ashog said that to me, a few hours before the game. He says, after seeing him, he wouldn't have played him. He said, I don't think they'll play him. And he was right. I was going, no. I was looking at the other way. I would have thought they should have played because of what he meant to them. But he said it, he's told us why here today, and, going for experience. Let's hope that experience gets us through today. And if we start well, I think it will.
We should win the game, mate, but should is 2 different things, mate.
Oh, no, there's no divine right. You don't win any games, on just turning up. You've got to go and work for it and make sure that you put the hard yards in to get the end result, for wanting another word. Well, come on, we're going to do it. He sounded all right there. We're always positive, aren't we? We're mumping with gums and all that before and after, but come just before the game, we expect, even when you're 2-0 down or whatever, I've always been like that. Well, even if there's 10 minutes now, we'll get 3 goals because he tells you that. It's not going to happen, but you still think we can win the game. That's just the way we are, but it's a good incentive for us today. Not that we should have ever needed one. Our attitude's not been great from the start. And this is why, from the start, the first ball kicked, and this is why we're in the position we're in the now. It's there now. There's a long, hard season, many, many games to go. Just get their attitude right, and we'll blow these teams away. This league's not very good. The teams below us. It's up to us to up it. And if we up it, I think we'll pull away. That's just my opinion on it,
I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. Bridgeman, people join us all the time. Give us a team.
And the team is McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun, Bassett, Davis, Kamara, Arfield, Aribo, Fashion, and Morelos. Substitutes: McLaughlin, Simpson, Patterson, Lundstrom, Hadji, Wright, and Roof. Sounds like a good team, but sounds like a good team.
If you look at that team and you look at the bench, when you think back when Gerrard walked in the door and relatively very little money spent, Andy, we've got a bit of strength now that we never had before.
Yeah, well, you were worried, weren't you, back in the day, like what the first 11 he put out, and there was nothing at all that you could rely on if you were in trouble, of which we were quite a lot of times when we were playing, but you can look now and you go, right, well, okay, there's some good players on there that can influence the game. The only thing is, does he make his substitutes at the right time? You can have all that quality or whatever you want to call it on the bench, and bringing them on with 10 minutes to go, if the game's not going well, it's not going to help. It takes you 15 minutes to get into a game. So I don't think he times his subs properly, But he's a manager. I'm just a supporter. I like just giving my opinion. I just like to see him do it. When we're struggling, there's sometimes at half time and you look at some of them guys, go, right, get him off and get a guy 45 minutes that you're going to bring in to try and influence the game. 10, 15 minutes at the end, that's not good. That don't help because, as I say, it takes 15 minutes to get into a game. So by the time you get in there, the whistle's getting blown. Well, that's my only gripe there with his substitutions. He doesn't do them at the right time, but we'll see.
I think he was late on Wednesday with the two forwards, if I'm being honest. I think he should be on about 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
You know, I can understand how you'll not use three substitutes, Bridge, because if you get an injury, all of a sudden you're down to 10 men. So football should maybe be a 13/14 man game now, you know.
Yeah, that's it could be. You could be right there. I quite enjoyed it when they did the 5-man substitution. I think it's quite good, you know, because it gives you that wee bit extra choice. But yeah, the managers and coaches have got to be guarded against putting all your substitutes on. Let's say before 20 minutes to go. You know, it's really difficult because obviously if one gets injured, sent off, or anything like that, then you can be snookered and you're stuck with 10 men. That's all there's to it. You can't change it. You know, for instance, well, wait a minute, there's a goalkeeper still upstairs. There's a goalkeeper still available for the changeover.
No, you're not allowed three substitutes.
Right, okay. So it's not a goalkeeper at any time. No.
If
So when the goalkeeper gets sent off, it's got to be an outfield player that goes and goal. That's what I mean.
If you've used your three subs.
Yeah. It's gone.
Aye, if you've used your three subs, think back to McCrory. Yeah, that'll be one in the future.
I remember McCrory going in goals. That's right. Yeah.
The two McCrory brothers that kept a clean sheet. Yeah.
I'm getting the rest of the books that won't it somewhere down the line.
He never let his brother forget it. He kept a clean sheet at Ibrox before he did that.
No, brothers wouldn't do that to each other, would they?
To be fair, I would like to think it's not the first time we've had brothers play and go.
Like Andy and Shuggy.
Me and him never disagree. He gets told what to do. I can see him spitting feathers at me. Right?
I love it, pal. I love it.
I know who the brains of that outfit is, and it ain't Andy.
Ox, I can tell you, I will totally agree with you. I've not got any brains in anybody's subjects. I just sit, talk, and listen.
At least you're smarter than Alex Kelly, I'll give you that.
Oh, definitely smarter. Don't worry about that.
It's a bit unfair when the man's not here.
Oh, yes.
Tell you.
He'll be on his way back from Mass. Right.
I can see the smoke coming off his head now.
Absolutely.
Aye.
Very cool man today, Oxford.
Always, mate. Always goes with the territory, doesn't it? Goes with the territory. Aye. So now we will go Aribo, Arfield there, and Tav on the right side. It's a wee bit nearer what we've had at times. Obviously, Jack was the constant there. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that functions the day and there.
Yeah, well, that's what we're asking for. You know, I mean, I said Tav goes in them runs and all that and gets them balls, and you know, I've got odd mans up there, which I always have. It's just defending that worries me, and you know, well, we said it a million times. We won't go there. We're going to be positive. Arfield, I like Arfield. It's whether he can come back and give us the same Arfield that we all like. I'm glad he's back in around the team because I do like him. I feel more confident. I know the big McGregor made the mistake against Hearts, but he also made 2 or 3 saves in that game as well. You can always rely on him, I think. And Davis, I know what people are saying, and I know William over in Ulster there. He's saying that he thinks his leg's gone and he's being a bit nippy at the moment. But I get all of that. But I still think he can open teams up. You know, he has the power. It's just whether his legs are going. But yeah, there's good players in that team. You know, I mean, they're all, as I've said, I don't call them greats, not by any shot. They're all good players or good plus on the day. Just gives one of them performance that we know they can get because they're cheating. They're not just cheating their fans, they're cheating themselves because they can play at times. They proved that last season. You know?
I've just heard it confirmed. My last statement is correct. Was correct. Aye, we have got good players. It's getting the blend. I thought Big Bassey, Bridgeman, was arguably our best player against Aberdeen, particularly in the first half.
Yeah, I think he had a fine game. As you saw in the FIFA Bridge, I gave him top marks and man of the match. I thought he stood out in the first half. He was superb. Second half was a clanger here and there for most of our Rangers players. They didn't quite pull together. But seriously, I think Big Bass is a smashing big player. I really do. And what he needs is what we've been saying all the time. All the players need it. They need that run in the team, get a 5-10 game run, let's see how you can cope. Otherwise, you might be just wasting time on your own time, that is, But it's a battle to get into the team now, because there's some really good players in that team, and it's really difficult to displace them,
Gerrard would be accused of having his favourites, Andy, and obviously, but people would say that's the guys he's trusted. There's a difference. Well, obviously, Tav and Connor are his captain and vice captain. Yeah, and then, but no, at centre halves, he's not got a lot for pick for. Bassey's in because Borner's injured. In midfield, we've tried quite a lot of players in there already this season, different blends, different mixes. Up front, Morelos is one of the constant, but even he's been in and out, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely got his favourites, and if it carries on the way it is, then favourites will bite him on the backside. He has to do what's for the good of the team, and he said then that I'm bringing a bit of experience in that I think he can do. Well, I think all managers, if we be honest, have got their favourites, their go-to guys that they think they can totally trust. What I can't see is, if he thinks he can totally trust Golston and Tavernier, then I'm missing something. And they could be two players that's instrumental on getting a few problems. Let's say getting a few problems going Gerrard's way. But we're struggling at the minute of what to pick, aren't we? That's the problem we've got.
One's the best centre half will go to the club at the moment, fit, and has been consistent in the last 18 months. Yeah, he's no the finished article, and he's no Richard Gough, but we are where we are. Another one, assists, and his goals are outstanding. And at the moment, I do think he's ahead of the young boy Patterson. Whether that'll be the same in a year's time, only time will tell. It's not a sprint for Patterson, it's a marathon, and hopefully gets longevity in his career and gets in the team and kicks on. I don't see the clamour for Golston and Tav. I know they've made Ricketts, but there's everybody on their side makes Ricketts Bridgeman.
Yeah, I think because of his position he's playing, Golston, and the manner in which he makes the Ricketts, to be honest, and some of them are quite glaring, and you think, oh my God, he's lost concentration or something. Or maybe the wind's rolled the ball 6 inches to the right or something. Or Golston, to me, definitely our best centre half by a long, long way. But he needs to. There's something in his game at the moment where he's causing himself problems, and other members of the squad has. Because some passes he plays, still plays some beautiful passes over the top, but then he tries a 10-yard pass and he can't find the player sometimes. So there's a wee issue there. As far as Tav's concerned, with the boy Patterson, well, I honestly don't see anybody moving Tav. The manager absolutely adores him. That's what I can think of. Because there's sometimes the way he's playing, he's not quite 100%, but he gets a lovely pass in, or a good cross, or an assist, and maybe even score a goal, and he's back to the favourite then.
Listen, I get him. Tav and Golston haven't been perfect, Andy. I fully understand where you're coming from for that. I don't think there's been a lot of other guys that have maybe played 7.5, 8 this season, if you take it as a whole,
Oh yeah, it's not just them two. There's others that are not performing. I'm perfectly aware of that, but it just seems to be that's the same old thing in the world. You're going around. Seems to be when any kind of mistake happens, it seems to be there one of two, one of him or the other one. So it kind of stands out. Maybe they're not as bad. I just don't rate them. That's just my opinion. I may get shot down. It's all about opinions, isn't it? The thing about Patterson, Ox, my fear is, if there's rumours down here that Man United wanting to look at Patterson, and that comes big enough, Patterson won't be there long term to play in their team or their next season to establish himself as a right back. We'll lose him because they're going to come sniffing.
Everybody's got their price, and Man United are made up. Yeah. If one of the top sides in England come calling, I hope there's no Man United supporters listening. If one of the top sides come calling, they've had to sell in the past. Everybody's got their price, It depends. Would the club stand in his way if it was a if somebody was to be a massive change in their wages, if the boy wanted to go, I don't know. I don't think we're at that stage. I think the boy's happy at Ibrox, and there's a plan to get him where he wants to be, and he's bought into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you hope so, don't you? I mean, I personally myself think he could be the future and the future captain of Rangers if he grows into the stature of a player that he could be. He'll definitely be one of the future Scotland. Well, he'll be a right back for Scotland. I've no doubt in the years going forward. This centre-half, Bridge, I think it's Big Islander's the better one out of the two when fit, like, you know.
Best defender, Big Islander. Best defender. Yeah. Natural defender.
At the back, I would say I think that he makes Golston a better player.
They're the best partnership we've got. Even though Balogun's been okay, apart from Prague or with Bassi, I thought the two of them were poor together, but they never played together and it just didn't look natural at all. But look, it's all about the day. We've got Balogun and Golston. Golston's been okay in the opposition's box. He's got his heat to some amount of headers. You know, and last year they were getting in for him, and this year they're just no.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's about today's game, and you know we've got to be positive. That's a team that's out there. They're gonna, you know, I'm saying it right now. Come on, we're gonna go out and do this, right? Put the marker down. Great way to start again, getting your form back, and sorting a real tricky game out here, and going stiffening these, and then putting it down, letting them know, right? Okay, we've missed about for long enough now. Now we're going to open up. We're going to swarm all over you teams. And that's what we're looking for. That when we get that, then it'll be good. Look, what comes to the worst case scenario, and we don't pick up points here today. Christ, you can see meltdown coming, can't you? The way we've been playing, but that ain't going to happen. Come on, we've got to go out and prove ourselves here today. And I think the fact that Arfield's in, he'll want to try and prove himself as well.
No,
I mean, when he's been coming on the short cameos.
That's plenty, Isaac. That's plenty.
All right, okay. The vodka's kicking in, it's like I get faster and faster.
You and Carl answer your own questions. It's brilliant. Bridgeman, that's a big game, but they're all big in the league campaign, aren't they?
Oh, my. Every game is massive. I know I say it's the biggest game of the season, but every game is the biggest game of the season for Rangers. And obviously, I hope the players and the managers and everybody else understands why it's said like that. It's the biggest game of the season. This is your challenge. Never mind last week's game and never mind next week's game. You could do that in the planning rooms. You can do all that. This is real. This is the real McCoy. Look at the chance we've been given today. Win today, and we've got a lot more fresh air between us and our trailers, the guys trailing back. Seriously, we just need to win today. Mm-hmm. Win today, you're 4 points clear in the league and breathing fresh air.
All right, Andy, have you got a bet on?
No, I'm not bothered right enough. It's absolutely lashing it down here, so I thought, I can't. I went over and did a couple of hours just to make sure I was right for the game. I've got the vodka in, that's the main thing.
On a Sunday?
On a Sunday, aye, terrible, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I had my first tipple before I had my first roll.
Do you not take Coca-Cola or lemonade in it, no?
No, I have to drink that diet stuff with the diabetes now, or that tonic that. Sometimes I have it neat, but it burns your throat,
Maybe you buy the decent stuff, you'll be all right.
Aye.
I think we've been joined with Dalmarnock. How are we doing,
Dalmarnock? Dalmarnock, how are you doing, pal?
Good morning, lads. Good morning.
How are we doing?
Aye, all good.
What's your thoughts on the team, mate?
Aye, it's good to see a wee bit of change in it. Arfield gives us that wee bit of dynamics coming through the midfield, and he's from Motherwell, isn't he? Was that not where he came from originally?
Falkirk went.
Was it? No, I mean playing for them.
No, he played for Falkirk.
Oh, did he? Right, okay. It's good to see him on, and we'll see what this fashions a full 90 minutes, see if he can do anything. But I don't know what the pitch will be like with that weather, but we need to go out and win it. And I'm just hoping that the threat of getting took off the perch is enough to kick them on. We've been saying that all season. We're looking for a milestone for them to start on a run, and hopefully the threat of them overtaking us yesterday is it.
Well, like a broken record with that one.
I know. Yep.
Well,
but it's a good team.
Are you a dedicated follower of Fashion?
Well, used to be. I'm not into this £150 shirts anymore, you know what I mean? Forget that.
I'm talking about the player.
I think he's actually all right. I don't think we've seen enough of him. I think he's been wrote off too early. And as I say, a lot of people say he can't control the ball and stuff like that, but we'll soon see. I think there might be a player there, but he needs to start scoring. That's as simple as. That's the rest of the strikers. They're all letting us down.
Mm-hmm.
But I roll on. 3 points. Get that 4 point gap and just start building on that again. As I say, we were in a precarious position there with them yesterday. And in the world, beating champions is a media making it out to be. And we just need to start playing our game. And look ahead.
A team full of cheats, mate. A kamikaze goes down. Right, ooh, you know.
That was pitiful.
Well, unbelievable. Imagine if it was somebody. It would take you if we copped 26 or whatever it is if it would happen to one of your players had done that.
Oh, aye, without a doubt, it'd be. That was the whole point of them all criticising the penalty, the Aberdeen penalty. I mean, it was just to put pressure on the refs. Media will write about it. Forums will talk about it. Then they'll get a penalty for it. But again, hopefully we just do the business today and play a fair game and get 3 points and back up the road.
I'm hoping Greta Thunberg watches Sports Scene tonight when she's in Glasgow and has a comment on it.
Greeting Greta.
Right, okay. How's the game going to go for you, Kilmarnock?
I'm going for a couple of goals for us. I can never give the opposition a goal or nothing. I can never give them anything. So I'm always, every time it's a win for us and no goals for the opposition.
That'll do me.
Plus 2 for me.
All right. Bridgeman, I'm not even asking you.
I'm going for a 1-0 today. Just going to change.
Andy?
I think if we score in the first 15 minutes, I think we could win 2 or 3-0. I think if they score first, I think it'll be a tie 2-1 for Rangers.
All right. Okay, I'll go in the Kilmarnock camp. Right. Thanks for listening. We'll be back approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle. Enjoy the ball game. And come on, the Rangers. Take it away, Foxy boy.
Who's that team they call it? Just who's that team they all adore? They're the boys who loyal word and